But the WHO say that Malcolm Roberts is a full conspiracy nut and we shouldn't listen to him. I've met a couple of the officials there. They seem pretty genuine. Why should we not take their word for it?
Data.
You were prepared for that one.
No, that's fundamental thing, Avi. You know that. Data and objectivity, facts, not opinions, not hearsay. That's what they're pushing.
Yemini for Rebel News in Melbourne, Australia, where Reignite Democracy, the firebrand that you all should recognise really well from the freedom fighting protests here in Melbourne, tonight running a very different event.
It's called the Freedom Summit Down Under 2022. This is our first one. It's in Melbourne. We plan to tour around the country with it. And the tagline of it is to learn how to live peacefully and prosper even in chaos. Basically, after 2 years of pushing back on the front line, I've realised that no matter what happens, we need to find a way to live our best lives, even if they're throwing everything at us.
I think it's just going to be a really amazing night of building community, building a sense of optimism and hope, and really shifting our focus away from all of the negative and towards the future and towards the positive aspects of the future of what we can actually build and what we can actually do together now that we've found each other.
Excuse me, sir.
Avi.
There's a height restriction here. I'm only allowed to be the shortest person.
It's vital because what we're seeing here is an absence of sheep. These people have proved themselves to be lions. And that's what we've got. And that's what we need, more Australians standing up and taking charge of their lives and also of the country. You know, in the Constitution, who's in charge? The only people who can change the Constitution are the people. And these people are understanding that they're in charge and they want to start working out how to take charge.
We sold out 6 days before the event. So full house tonight. There'll be people standing up. In Sydney, we're going to have a bigger venue, obviously, so 500 to 800 maybe. And I think it's going to do really well.
No QR codes here tonight?
It's really funny because people were supposed to start arriving at 6:30. It's only 6:05 and there's tons of people already here. So we were going to backtrack and try to do the registration as people walked in, and I just said, you know what, stuff it. No one here likes registering for anything or QR code checking in or even telling anyone their name. So I thought, you know what, if someone sneaks in without a ticket, c'est la vie, you know?
You realise now that when you go to other states, a lot of people might try to sneak in with other tickets.
Well, we might be on the door half an hour early next time. Yeah.
It's almost like a surreal moment having all of us in one room together, and it almost feels like a turning point in terms of what we went through and what's actually happening now.
But don't you find it bizarre that, you know, for 2 years when cases were much lower than we have now, hospitalisations were much lower, there was, for goodness sake, when there was one case, they shut down the entire city, and this was certainly very illegal. But now, this, anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, they're all welcome to congregate in the hundreds in a venue.
Avi, my friend.
Why?
You sound like a conspiracy theorist. You need to trust the science.
Obviously, during lockdowns, we weren't able to have in-person events at all. So this is actually a celebration of freedom instead of always having to fight. It's really nice to be able to meet people face to face now that we are allowed to, but I refuse to be grateful for it because it is really our right. And I want RDA to be seen as an organisation that can bring people together, not just people with big profiles or audiences either, people who maybe aren't good at marketing or social media, but they have a really, really good idea. That's what we're showcasing tonight. So there are some people here tonight who have never done any public speaking and they have no idea how to get their idea off the ground, and RDA wants to help them do that. So it's about the small people with big ideas.
If life is going to continue to be as crazy and topsy-turvy as it has been the last couple of years, which we're all hoping it doesn't, but then again, who knows, we're going to need each other. You know, in a way that we've often talked about. I've had so many conversations with people, you know, talking about, oh, back in the day, there used to be more community. People used to talk to each other. People used to help each other. We lost that somehow. Well, yeah, we lost that, right? It's not some external, we lost that over the last 20, 30, 40 years. And what's happening now is I feel like people are refinding that and they're rebuilding that. Not necessarily with the person that lives next door to them, but with like-minded people that live in their broader area. And I think this rebuilding of community is honestly the most important thing happening right now.
Freedom fighters in Melbourne, for the first time brought together by Reignite Democracy, not to protest. They're coming together, united for a better life.
The tyrants have enjoyed watching us running around like crazy people trying to fight every little battle. But I really think that now is the time to look after ourselves and choose when we want to use our energy for those sorts of things. So that's what I've learnt, and that's what I hope to teach everyone here.
Amazing. All right. I smell some food, so I'm just going to cut this short.
Yeah.
How does it feel to come to an event here in Victoria, indoors, at a venue, full of people that are proudly unvaccinated, unmasked, and unprotected from this virus that is running rampant in our state right now?
Well, it definitely feels a bit different. I've done most of my talking in big parks, usually surrounded by certain people wearing certain uniforms, as you know, and congratulations on the apology. There needs to be many, many more, I think, but it's nice to be indoors and among good people, so everybody here is friendly. Let's just make it happen.
Because the election's around the corner, that's exactly why we're able to be indoors right now. I guarantee you, if the election wasn't in a few more months, we wouldn't be in here. Definitely not. So it's time to make a difference. It's time to get rid of this man.
Most politicians are like sheep. They're there, they're a protected species, they're there in isolation, and they're working for the globalists who push a few buttons in the power brokers of each of the two main parties. And they're not doing their job, and we need more people to hold politicians accountable.
The greatest indicator of the future is the past. So if we look at what this government has done in the past without releasing the scientific health advice that we're still waiting for, then absolutely Victorians can expect to see much more of the same if the government does not change. And I think the 100,000 people plus that have left Victoria, expect that figure to multiply several times over, because I dare say this may become a state that many people don't want to live in, and this could be our last chance to change that.
Freedom for us, for all of us, for worldwide. We need to stand united. We need to form a strong bond.
Freedom, democracy, mate. The country that gave democracy to the world, and we are here to represent that. And I'm actually born there, so proud to be Australian, by the way, as well. We grew up here for such a long time, and Australia's given us such a great country, and we're here to take it back, mate.
Hundreds of Victorian freedom fighters packing it out all indoors safely for now. I'm Yemini for Rebel News in Melbourne, Australia. If you enjoyed this report, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, share it far and wide, because the last thing the mainstream media want is for you to see this lot enjoying life and acting normal. So it's up to you to share the truth far and wide. And if you want to ensure that you continue to get the truth, make sure to head over to followavi.com and follow me, subscribe to our mailing list, and follow me across the platforms. So even if they ban us from the platform you're watching this on right now, well, you'll still get the content. Followavi.com.